Negative.
I just wanted to see
No.
how you guys would treat this day differently than what we did the analysis in the past couple of days, right? Actually, nothing really changed, guys. When you think about the data and what they printed today, right? So I'll just, as soon as this comes up, I will bring it up. I still have the base here on Friday. I think it's still fairly important to see if we crack it or not, but let's see if we can get these come up here. Okay, it takes forever to get the TPOs. So, I mean, if you guys think about the open, we were auctioned all the way above it, right? We went above the 36 at that time, which was the first SIG, and then the Wednesdays, I believe this was, no, I'm sorry, Thursday's value area high. And this is where it started looking a little weaker on ES, right? They really weren't able to sweep all the way to 49. They failed. And that was a pretty good sign of weakness once they got back inside the 36. 39 offered a pretty decent bounce, right? Once they cracked that, and you'll see when I zoom out and move these candles, there was a little bit of a clear value, division at that point. So if you guys look here, where was that division of value? So you see the A, right? We opened on the bottom, and then we kept going, and we started building value there. Where's the value here?
Between 38 and 46, or 39 and 46.
So I would say B low all the way approximately to CD high, correct?
Yeah.
If you're to pay up TPO letter. So now if you just kind of draw the lines here, right? So if this is our value and we are cracking a little bit lower in F period, right? So the D period is the first period that had what?
Lower low.
Lower low. So if that's the case, and we know that Europe lately has been selling, and during the live, I think I brought up the D period a few times. And then you have here period E here. And what's important about E period here?
Higher high.
Europe's
And
closed.
And a higher high and a higher low.
higher high and a lower low. And what does an outside bar mean?
Indecision.
It's engulfing both sides.
Not sure.
Okay, so what would you think? Just think about price action. We went above the value and we didn't like it. We went below and
Aggressive.
what
Didn't like it
happened?
there neither.
Yeah, and then the F period cracks the low. That's in trading, right? Usually when you have, if you want to call it engulfing or outside candle like this one, typically you want to go with the direction of the break on the side that it's going. So here it broke the E period, and it really needs to break this 39.5, right? And then once the H period came in here, there was really no stopping them, right? And I think on NQ, equivalent to what we were targeting was it was a 709. I think it was 7, I don't know what level we were on. I know it was 09. I don't know if it was 809 or 709 on NQ, but there was a level we were targeting, and that was pretty much identical level that we were watching, here. We had some levels around previous all-time high and the spike base being there. So once they cracked inside the spike here and then they defended it, for sure you could take this long, right? Because if they reject out of the spike, what are they telling you?
Accepting price above.
Value's higher.
Yeah, the value is higher. That means that this J period low here, it was potentially, this is going to be single prints now. So maybe there's other time frame participants from Friday that initiated that spike that they stepped in. Does that make sense? Like at least how I'm seeing the day, does it help you guys see it a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So now,
Yeah.
the second question here. We talked about this briefly. I just want to make sure you guys understand. When you're in a balance like we are now, we're in a 4-day balance, right? Some idiot wrote, the same idiot that I always deal with on Twitter, was like 4-day and 5-day POC are the same. Where do you see a 5-day balance here? Where's the 5th day? Like, where's the 5th day balance? I mean, I have to go here to find that 5th day, right? So don't confuse just because you could make the POC, that means that there's no volume here. It doesn't matter, what it looks like. The way you define balance is that we are not making higher highs or lower lows, and that we're basically staying within the same range that you have, and you're not breaking below or above it. I also mentioned in the class, if you guys were there, that when you're in a balance, seeing single prints in the balance, do you guys think it's fairly important?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If I
No.
tell you
No.
we're in balance right here, we're in balance and we're trading right here. And here's a B shape and here's a P shape with single prints. Do you really think other time frame buyers buy inside the value? Who buys inside the value?
No.
Short term.
Gosh,
Oh
short
no,
term.
it's either the top or the bottom.
They short-term traders like in the balance. The only way you get real single prints is if you peak above this and then you get a lowercase b. This is the people I'm interested in.
The other time frame buyer single prints.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
these single prints inside, I don't believe them. Because it doesn't take much to move something inside the balance, because it's who trading there. You just answered it. If it's mainly short-term traders, do you think they have the size?
No.
No, they're just trading a couple of contracts, right? They don't have the buying power unless you're me, so to stay in forever. Right? So your job when you look at these charts is to see, we call it market generated information. What is market really telling you? For instance, if this here, when we went above the first sig here, let's say this here was all single prints, maybe it would carry some value. But what if we went up to here and all of this was single prints and we closed here?
Big.
Well, that would be something you're paying attention
Other
to.
time.
That would mean that, we peaked above the, high, that we triggered some losses on the top. So that would be more important to me than seeing them inside the balance. People that just started learning market profile, they're going to say, man, there's a lot of single prints here. These matter. Do you use it as a support and resistance? Yeah, but am I going to treat it like a trend reversal single print? No. And neither should you. People that are new to the market and they just read or watch a YouTube and they're like, oh yeah, we have single prints, man. It's over. No, you will know when the trend is reversing. We still have not, made any trend reversal in any change in the auction. The sentiment's still there. Is it slowing down? It's in the 4-day balance. The market is just balancing, trying to figure out which way does it want to go. Right? So I wouldn't treat this as, especially when you see the single prints and balance, it's not that big of a deal. You still market, but it's not something that's like, changing. Usually when you see a selling tail, for instance, in the uptrend that we're in, and you see a massive selling tail, well, that's to be noted, right? In an uptrend. But when it's like this, it doesn't really matter. Just keep that in mind as you're trading, because there's a lot of information out, I would say, in the market or in the world now about trading, especially market profile. I feel like everybody started picking up volume profile and market profile in the past 6 to 8 months. And people that I've never seen posting market profile or volume are now market profile experts. So I'm just telling you, be careful what you pick up on knowledge, because it doesn't mean it's true, and you still validate it. Even validate myself, and you just test it, and you've seen it today when we traded live. Some of the levels do work. All right, so how would you guys play it tomorrow? Let me go ETH, see where they're at. Oh, they're really.
I want to see if we can open above or below that previous all-time high, 3,350. I think that'd be my first sign of
Hold on, which
strength.
level? 350.
3,350, the 4-day POC.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. 30.
I'd look to see if we go above or below that. Above that, I'd want to see if we can push above into the previous day value area high, like 42 above that. There's some little zones in between, but just like overall,
That's what I'm watching here as well. I mean, this would be considered, a big level on the break, right? There's probably a high chance you're going to go 7 points higher if you can hold above this and crack, right? When I say hold above, this is not hold above. This is not a hold above. They can make a higher high, higher low, and then slowly come back to this. That's what you're looking for, like this. If they peak above and they reject, that means there's quite a bit of inventory there and they're trying to get rid of it. Okay.
Downside, I would look all the way from that Friday spike base at 26. I have like a little delta zone from 26 to 27.5. I'd watch to see the reaction. That's also the past day low, value area low. And then below that, I'd be looking at the previous week value area high, the 5322.75. It was also a previous
All-time high.
all-time high. The PDL is also right there.
Yeah.
And then
This
I mean, I
level is
get
pretty stacked here. I mean, this level is pretty big here. If they lose the previous all-time high, and just think about it, we haven't really been. It hasn't been a long time since we cracked this. So if you guys look right, your all-time high is kind of sitting. I think it's actually a little less than that, like somewhere around here. Just because I'm on ETH, it's sitting right here. And now when you look at the price action, does this look like price acceptance above this level to you guys?
no.
This by no means is price acceptance above this PTH, guys. There's just going to be a lot
When we want we would want to see an increase in volume and to separate from there, or
well, that's the key. I want to see you separate from there. I want you to accept the prices elsewhere, right? So that would be the key piece, right? Let me delete this. So if you guys think about this, right? So if this is our all-time high, I think it was 2350. Either way, but now you're just consolidating here, and you're not really. Now think about this: if you had a product that you're selling, and you increase the price of the product, and your volume of sales goes down, of how many transactions you're getting goes down, and you're not getting net new buyers, right? It's just the same buyers, but they're buying less of your product. What would that signal to you as a seller?
Gotta bring the prices down.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to bring the prices down, right? We still haven't seen volume, in my opinion, right? Ever since, I mean, you're talking about since, what is this, May 2nd? This is your range here when you look at it on higher time frame. Let's go on the weekly. I'm just gonna turn this guy off. Right, so if this is our, let's go here. So that was our prior breakout, and now you have this level here. If you can't build this here, most likely you're gonna go to 4,800 shortly here. That's about 500 points, which is pretty good, right? So bigger time frame, right? They're not really buying this just yet. Other time frame people are. Look at the weeklies, guys. This is pretty pathetic, right? It seems like they're already in the summer break. So I wouldn't be married to the bullish bias. And I know is it earnings Wednesday, and I think we got is it CPI or whatever is coming up from the macro data, right? So there's quite a bit coming up, but bulls can celebrate this, but I just don't see a lot of momentum in their favor still going on in terms of volume. They have the price going higher, but I don't think the value is just there yet. And you guys can probably test that, right? Here's your lows and here's your highs and here's your value. Your POC is sitting at 45.72 and your first sig here is sitting at 5104 on this whole run up. So even though the value is not that far, but we're still way above it. So what do you think they're doing about the value if there's no buyers?
Offloading.
They're trying to give you every one bit that they can, right? So now when you look at the, when you look at the price action, let's say on 65 minutes, just because it breaks it down equally. Here's your buying volume, highest buying volume. And then you have, so I would say some people will say double top, right? You don't have any volume increase anywhere here, guys. It's just flat. I think SPY had 37 million shares traded today. Go look at the averages on SPY. Go on Yahoo data, historical, and just look at the daily average on SPY versus today. Here you go.
It's I mentioned that earlier. There's been no day on ES with been very few days over 1 million volume on this entire run up since like the first spike of it, which is crazy if you look back. Like,
So this is the lowest day in SPY right now. And there's no anomaly, right? Because it is a smaller candle, right? And small volume. But this is your lowest volume here. And then if you go, I mean, don't even look at it on weekly. It's been pretty pathetic for a while now. So just be careful, right? Your reward is not for long here. Even though it might seem like, oh man, I missed something. Trust me, you're not missing much. Just be patient. We need to start framing down at some point, right? We've been running quite a bit. And if you guys look at this and you go on SVP and just look at did you guys count by any chance how many single VPOCs we got?
I believe there was 6.
Yeah, I think there's 7. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. So all the red lines are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 VPOCs now. So that's pretty extended. Typically, within 7 to 8, we usually start filling some of them. So I'll be somewhat cautious here. And it's not bad if you guys turn on your TPO. I don't know if you guys know this trick. They added a cool feature you guys can use. I'll show you here. Just gonna delete this in case you don't want to see volume. I usually use the visible range.
at the end, could you go through your visible range settings?
Yeah. Flash them up while this is. There's your.
Wait 1 sec.
I do the row size.
3. Okay.
68, and then the rest just color whatever scheme you want. I usually pick the ugliest one.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Thanks. Is there a specific time frame that you go on when you look at the VRVP?
No, VRP is just visible range. Whatever you're
Alright.
shown on the
Whatever
chart
you're
is
seeing.
what's going on. So let me see this TP. I just want to show you guys. So for those, I guess that haven't used, let me see, how do you go indicators? So if you go under technicals and then you go under profiles, you have the time price opportunity indicator, and that's the one we use, right? And I'll show you the settings so you guys can see it. So here's the settings, 30 minutes. I usually do manual. Look at it on 1 row size. Sometimes during the day I switch to 3 or 2. And then whatever you want to show, right? I do the POC different color just so you can see it. If you want to put it orange, sure. I change and turn these on. I usually keep value area high, value area low. I do care about open and close, right? Just because the sentiment shift, and then the initial balance is always in 2. So let me show you this. So if you guys click on merge with the left profile, right click on this, split, merge with the previous profile. So it's going to combine these two. And then you can go on once they, consolidate these 2 profiles. Then it takes a little bit of time. You can combine it again 4 times, just to make it easy to kind of look at the data. So let's see how long it takes them to process this. Seems like it takes forever. So it's probably spinning. Yeah.
Like a triple distribution. Oh, yours hasn't updated.
Oh yeah, it takes forever for me. So now you'll have a TPO basically that's in the 4 days, right? So, and tomorrow would be a single profile, which is pretty cool to see because then you'll be able to see what is actually happening. So now let's see where this one falls. It should fall somewhere around here. Once you merge them, come on.
Oh, because since we're in the 4-day balance, you can merge the 4 of them together.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wow.
saying.
Okay. Okay. Would you do that even with a 2-day balance as well?
Of course, yeah. That's why it's called balance.
It's crazy right now.
So if you look at it, this would be your first sig, then you'll have the bottom sig, which matches. I'll probably draw a little box right here. Something like this. And that would be your key levels, honestly. Peak above fail, go to CPOC, lose this, probably go to 22 and then ultimately 14. Below that, we have 05 and 03, but this is where we are right now. This would be the balance that they're kind of playing, right? Another way, you guys, I'm bringing this up because somebody asked, how do we show the TPOs? If you click on the candles, there's 2 candle types. You have the Ashis like this, and then you have the regular ones. If you click on this and click time price opportunity, now this is going to change to time price opportunity, and you can change here how, do you want daily, weekly, monthlies? You can click daily, and typically I do manual, but I don't do 25. So let's say if you pick 5 just for the visibility, here it's going to change it up a little bit. And with these profiles, when you go under the candles, this is your candles, right? So there's no way to have candles in working with this because you're changing the candle type. So that's why sometimes I have the other one because I want to see the candles and how we responded to levels. And there's a little line. If you click on the settings here, you can make this orange, and then basically this is your price action at the levels. And actually, for some of you guys, this might not be a bad idea to have as a chart on the sideline, right? When if you have multiple monitors, to just see this because it gives you a zoomed out level, and you're just watching to see how we are reacting, right? And it's much easier for me, at least, to keep this line like this. And I'm just seeing what is the next level that they want to go to. If they spike below here and regain it like they did here, that would be a good long, right? And then Q was hitting support, so there's some confluence. And that's, I'm just giving you suggestions on to keep your chart a little bit neat like this so you can see what is price doing, where is potentially going next. There's a value area high coming up here. So with the PDL, there's a lot of levels in this, and you see where they bounced, I guess, on the previous value area high perfectly. And they explored higher, but they failed to hold any value. So if that's the case, and now let's just say that if they lost the CPOC here, and now they're retesting the CPOC from the bottom, perhaps that they are ready to explore the bottom of the SIG, right? Because they could not find that new buyers here. They actually auctioned higher to stop the buying, and they did. Now they're going to go lower to find the buyers, stop the selling. So just be kind of paying attention on a visual time frame that you're kind of looking here. How does it look? And I really suggest that you guys keep one of these at least as a tab, right? Copy it, paste it, open it as a new tab so you can quickly see it if you don't have multiple monitors. I think that's a pretty good trick to use. Okay. These are your key levels here. I will pay attention to this and this. Everything else, yeah, not so important. Okay. Any questions on this?
Can you please show again how you got it to be like a yellow line?
Yeah. So if you click, you see the candles, right? So if I change here, I'm gonna get my candles. If I click here to, let's say I click bars and I want to see the actual bars, I can do that. If you want hollow candles, you can do that. But they added a time price opportunity as a candle. So now if you click on this, right, and open the settings instead of the drawing tool, you can click on the line color, right, whatever you want it to be. You want it to be blue, orange, whatever. Orange just looks good. You can do that. And this is where you mess with the market profile settings. Do you want a daily, weekly, or monthly, right? And then how many ticks per row and whatever color scheme you like. And this is your settings basically for market profile.
How many ticks per row were you at? 4?
Say it again.
Were you at 4 ticks per row?
What?
One. You're on one tick per row is what you're on always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
On RTH, yeah. I want to see really the price on what level. Orders, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that'll be it. It's pretty much not a lot, to update. Just I wanted to make sure a few points that you guys are getting. Your reward is limited. Your risk is limited. Do not oversize.
Shorty, what's path? I know you probably added that when I was gone.
That was just
What
me
does that
being
mean?
lazy again.
Mhm.
Previous time high.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's fine.
I just couldn't type anymore. At one point, I was just tired. Yeah, but it's previous all-time high. We're all about acronyms, man. We got to make it as confusing as we can. And
So if we weren't in a 4-day balance, would you be paying more attention to the 38.25 level? It's like it's the halfway, it's the middle of the double distribution for today. But
that would
because
be
we're in a
important.
4-day balance,
Yeah, that would be important, right? 36 would be important. And then, of course, I would maybe a different profile would have printed, right? If that was not an imbalance. But this would be an important, right? Especially if we close below, this becomes a very important level, right? Because if they lose this, let's say, if it wasn't a balance and we lose this tomorrow, right? Where we opened, sentiment changed big time. The auction, something changed in the auction where we opened before, we don't like it. Now we're auctioning below. So something is driving that sentiment to go a little bit differently. So yeah, I would say so. On Qs, these are the key levels that you guys, big time frame levels. This is almost a year and a half levels. Losing this 47.73 probably is not bad for some longer dated puts to about 340. So this is, I'm talking about first level being here and then second level being here. That's only if they lose this level here. And then this is your next target, Sunny, for Qs here, 459, 471.
Okay. Thanks, Shorty.
I'd be very careful if you reach this level here. If you're long on any tech stocks, it might be a decent closure. Here's the XLC. It's approaching a key level, and there's a lot of tech in this here. Let me see what is.
XLC has both Google and Facebook.
Yeah, both. Yeah, I think Cisco's in there too. No, it is. Yeah, Cisco's in there. I'm just looking to see any market sentiment. So this is your 50-day average. How many stocks what percentage of stocks are above? I typically look at this in TOS, but there's also here, I found it. I think it's N5, FI, no. So we still have a little bit to go. If you look at this, right, and you find some standard deviations around here, like I did on the stocks on S&P, we still have a little bit. About 58% of the stocks are above their 50-day average here. So let's see what they do. And I'm pretty sure what is going on here. So VDIX went up today. Wow, this is crazy, man. Was today the expiry for VIX, Sunny?
No. VIX is expiring on Wednesday 9 a.m.
And they're coming up to a big level again. This is where they touched last time here, and it drifted higher.
Yeah, dealer sweet spot is above, so I won't be surprised tomorrow after 8:30 if they rock market for the VIX expiry.
I mean, that would make sense because if it's unwinding, that would make a lot of sense. And if this is any pattern that people follow like the megaphone pattern or whatever, maybe not on this time frame, but definitely a daily. And if you're coming here, this might not be a bad level to look at some long dated puts because they'll be super cheap here, guys. puts are gonna be record low here. While they're selling you the meat at the top, think about the cost of puts for them here. Because once the puts are loaded, what is the first thing they do?
Pump the VIX.
And what happens to the options value?
Juiced. Well, puts, anyways.
Yeah, they juice them, man. The volatility goes up in the market, the VIX jumps, and the market doesn't even have to drop. They made their money.
Yeah, I'm inclining, very much short biased for tomorrow because of this VIX expiry thing. 8:30 onwards,
I would
dealers
let them shake out the first batch in the morning and then look for the puts.
Yeah.
Let them shake out the nervous ones.
Hit those stops.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you tomorrow morning. I do have something for my kiddo at school tomorrow as they're finishing up somewhere around 11. But I'll look to join in the morning, see if we can close the day early at least, if the price action is good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Sorry, good night.
Thank you.
I just don't. Yeah. Keep them. Active voice. Active voice. Active voice.